Yo, what is up, YouTube? So today we're going to be talking about Overwatch 2 and the new competitive ranking system and how they did it right. They finally got it right. A ranking system that actually makes sense. But first, did someone say peanut butter? All right, ladies and gentlemen, this video is sponsored to you by Texas. The fuck?
My soul is caged in a demon's
Bruh! Hey, Twitch.tv selfless_gaming. I know you got money. Look at that skin.
Locked and loaded.
Who's ready to get this done?
Selfless Gaming!
Born in it. So you merely adopted the dark. I was born in it. Molded by it.
And we are also partnered with Doobie GG. If you guys want to get any of this amazing product, be sure to check it out. Doobie.gg. Use code selfless at checkout. Get 10% off. All 10% comes back to Team Pick Me Up, which is right here behind me, our nonprofit organization. If you guys have any questions, be sure to reach out to me on twitch.tv selfless_gaming. I'll definitely answer those questions live. Getting into it, Overwatch 2. Quick breakdown of what is new, what has changed from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2. One of the biggest things that's definitely come about is new characters. We have 3 new characters. We have a tank, a DPS, and a healer. With the overall addition of them, we also have some new maps that have come out, which I actually enjoy. I think they did a good job with their maps. The biggest thing, though, is the competitive rank system. So first, how are you able to compete in competitive mode as a new player? As a new player, what you'll need to do is you first have to win 50 games in a quick play mode. So that can be quick play role queue, where you select your role as a tank, DPS, or healer, and you stay in that role for the entire game. Or you have quick play open queue, which is open to any character as a tank, DPS, or healer. You can play as either one of those in your open queue. Once you've hit 50 wins within open queue, what you'll then have is you then can now unlock competitive gameplay. So with competitive gameplay, these are some things that have changed. Before, there used to be placement matches in Overwatch 1. You had to complete 10 placement matches, and then I think it was like last 6 or 8 seasons, they changed it to 5, okay? Because 10 placement matches was a lot. So once you completed your placement matches in Overwatch 1, and then put you into your rank, honestly, the placement matches were an absolute joke. Me and my buddies, we did some theories with this and testing. I was constantly a mid-plat player to high gold player. I was hard stuck there a lot of times. I think I hit diamond once or twice. But with that being said, it was very tilting to know that we tested this. We actually threw every single placement game and went 0-5. And my SR changed from last season to this current season, maybe by 100 to 200 points. It was not a significant drop-off. We then also tested the theory of winning 5 games and dominating teams and going undefeated in our placements. And the same thing, we pretty much were placed around where we were last season by maybe a fluctuation of 50 to 100 points, being a little bit higher. With all that being said, Overwatch 2 is much different now, okay? You first have to either win 7 games to receive your competitive rank or lose 20 games, whichever one comes first. All right. So me and my buddies, first day, we tested it out. We went, I think, 9 games. It took us 9 games to win 7. I got placed in silver 3. He got placed in plat 5. All right. Here is one of the things that we recognized with this. As a competitive player, do yourself the favor. Do not switch your roles during competitive play. So what I mean by that is when you go into a role and you play your first competitive match, if you are going to be a healer the whole entire time that you are playing. Try to stick to the same character every game that you are playing. I understand that you may have to switch up comps and you may have to go a different healer or switch that up. That's understandable, but the reason I'm bringing this up is because my buddy Odin, all he did was play Genji. That's all he ever played during competitive matches. So the overall breakdown and analysis of his gameplay for those 9 games was nothing but Genji as DPS. So then, as the system is basically breaking down your gameplay compared to other people's gameplay that also play Genji, it then can defer you of, okay, this is a lower skill player, or this is a medium skill player, or a higher skill player, because it's breaking down your overall averages compared to other people's averages as that character. Myself, I went from playing Orisa to Zarya to Winston to Hanzo DPS, Reaper, I think Junkrat a couple times, and then Ana, Moira, Mercy. I switched up all the time for our comp to try to balance and give us what we needed. I got placed in Silver 3, and I think the reason for that is because I'm constantly switching up, I'm constantly changing characters, so then it's taking my overall averages for all those characters, and it's comparing those averages to other people's averages as those characters. If I would have just stuck to Orisa and only played Orisa, I think I would have been closer matched to where Odin was, because we played all of our games together. We all dominated the teams and had the same performance, essentially. One of the biggest key differences, though, was our individual performances. My individual performance kept constantly changing throughout each game, whereas his was continuously nothing but Genji as a damage player, and that's all it's capturing. So do yourselves a favor when you get into the competitive rankings and you start moving up to try to achieve those wins, or you start having those losses. Even during those losses, try to stick to one character and stay with that one character. Now, where Overwatch 2 got it right. The biggest thing is once we hit that 7-game wins and we got our actual first competitive ranking, all right, from that point on, it is essentially a new clean slate within that ranking. So it's the exact same system. As soon as you hit 7 wins or you have 20 losses, you will then receive a new rank. With that being said, though, it's now actually accounting for your overall performance. Whereas in Overwatch 1, it was completely team-based wins and losses. So if you had somebody that was throwing on your team, not playing their role, not willing to switch, being toxic, caused you to lose, which was very common in Overwatch. Overwatch is a very heavy team-based game. So it literally could take one person to cost your team the loss. With that being said, now you can have those people who are underperforming in their role, not doing very well, and if you lose, it doesn't count against you. There is not a every single game constant fluctuation of SR loss or SR gained like there was in Overwatch 1. It is simply, which one do you hit first? Do you hit 7 wins first, or do you hit 20 losses first? During that time, which you are working towards either one of those, you're constantly being evaluated on your individual performance, which I think is freaking amazing that they got this stuff down. We went on several win streaks and stuff. I think I got placed on Tuesday in Silver 3. By Thursday, I was already Gold 2 because of the amount of games that we won. We were hitting our 7 wins by every 9 or 10 games. And with that, instead of me going from Silver 3 to Silver 2 and just moving up one, what actually was happening was I was skipping a whole entire tier. So I'm actually going from Silver 3 to Silver 1, from Silver 1 to Gold 4, from Gold 4 to Gold 2. That was literally my rank progression system because we're winning so many games. As that started to digress and slow down, we started losing more games. I think it took us 16 or 17 games to hit our 7 wins. So we almost got closer to our 20 losses. That actually made the transition from me going from Gold 2 to Gold 1. So instead of me skipping 2 tiers, I actually skipped 1 tier. Or actually didn't even skip a tier at all. I just went up to the next tier. So to me, it actually was showing like your team is playing well, you have a high consistent win rate, your character and overall damage is ranking relatively high. We're going to continue to progress you multiple tiers until we start to see a transition of you slowing down and losing games. Then it kind of brings it back in. It's like, okay, like you're clearly better than Silver 3. Let's go Silver 1. You're clearly better than this group. Let's go to Gold 4. You're clearly better than this group. Let's go to Gold 2. Okay, now you're starting to lose some games. You're starting to average your gameplay out. You're starting to have more competitive games. Now we're going to progress you up from Gold 2 to Gold 1, and it really balances things out. The reason I like this too is because, one, I think it's going to prevent boosting in this game, because those people who are better that are trying to carry their friends, they're going to progress much faster than what their friends are going to progress. So that's going to be a big key. I also think it's going to do a constant job of evaluating every player and then shifting them where they need to be, to where the games don't get to a point of you're constantly being steamrolled by a team, or you're constantly just crushing a team and they can't even get out of their spawn. Like, I got a clip right here where a team can't even get out of their spawn. And with that being said, that's not fun for them to just get completely bombarded and held in their spawn, overtaken and stuff like that, because of a difference in skill play. So I think it's going to take some time to progress through it, but everybody's actually going to have a really good, enjoyable experience. And one of the biggest things I like is that after every game, there's not a constant adjustment of rank. It's a simple matter of what can you get faster, 7 wins or 20 losses. In Overwatch 1, it was very difficult when you'd have a loss and it would cost you 25 to 30 SR in points, to then getting a win and you only got 18 SR for your win. So every game lost, you'd have to essentially win 2 games to even get back to breaking even or actually progressing a little bit. Next season, like we're currently in season 1 right now, I have heard that next season, when that starts, your previous season will carry over. So how you did, where you finished, and that previous season will carry over to the next season. Me personally, I really hope this doesn't happen. I'm kind of hoping they do a complete MMR reset, because this first season, you can get a lot of people in higher ranks. Second season, you get some of the player base to drop off. You get more of that actual like Overwatch community and fan base to stick around that are competitive players. Then you can kind of balance your game out even more with a complete reset. I like the fact that it is taking into account your overall performance, because we all have had that Overwatch player who will not be competent with the team and switch to roles that the team needs, that causes you a loss. Overwatch is a very team-based game. It is a very team-based comp, and it literally can take one person to throw a game for you. And now I feel like they've seen that over the past couple of years. They kind of are aware of that situation, and you're not being penalized as much for that anymore. It just seems like with this system, it's actually based on your individual gameplay, which to me helps out a lot. Because in Overwatch 1, I felt like that is where they failed. There were so many times where people would sit there and they'd be like, oh, I have gold healing, or I have gold eliminations, I'm doing my job. But you can never see their stats. You can never really know like what their true performance is. And with what they've added to the ranking system and what they've actually added to the overall gaming system, you can actually hit your tab. If you're on PC, you can hit your tab menu and you can pull up, just like here, where you can see everyone's damage, everyone's healing performance, and you can actually tell and break down who is actually performing really well in their role in your team and who may possibly need to switch in their team. There's this actual scoreboard now that shows your stats, so you can't hide. I'll say I'm not getting involved, bro. 11 fixed, 17 eliminations.
Pop it off, exactly. Let's go.
And as we all know, you want to ask politely, you want to sit them down, just like this, talk about their performance.
You, you're cool, and you, I'm out.
I do appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys like the content, like the breakdowns, leave some comments in the comment section. Be sure to hit the like button on that video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to grow this YouTube channel just like everybody else is. It's free. It's simple to do. Hit that subscribe button. If you want to see different breakdowns of like meta builds and comps, if you want to see a breakdown of characters and what works best with what, let me know. I'm willing to do that. I got a group. We run a lot of comp. We run a lot of ranked games. We're willing to try some things out and do some things to test some of these theories that we're seeing. Right now, tanks are very strong. I really don't see a point in running DPS at the moment. So tanks are pretty much meta right now. But with all that being said, I appreciate you guys. Continue to take care of yourselves. Continue to take care of each other. And we will see you in the next one. Peace.